He pōkeke au anuku e tū ai he tāpu I tāmaka e tau ai tūtū mai au pari kā rangaranga. Haere mai, haere mai. Haere mai ki tēnei whare. It is Kōrero time. Kua hau tēnei, ko Māsia Hopa, and I come from Whangarei.
Ai, Phoenix Roka tēnei, huria hau no hokianga te pito te ao.
And if you haven't guessed it already, hello, I'm Luke Bird the Birdman, also from Whangarei Te Tai Tokiro, and we are so chuffed. It is episode 9, everybody. Episode 9 already.
It's exciting because we've had 9, well, we're about to have another epic episode, but also we've only got 10 in the season. It's
Bring us
nearing the
back.
end. Hoi anō.
But
You
you
know
are
what
here
that
for
means.
Kōrero, which is NZME and iHeartRadio's newest, greatest, fabulous, most colourfulest podcast, Kōrero!
Yes, what does it mean?
You know what that means. I was going to say, you know what that means. So it's almost our last episode. We only got 10 in the season, but you as the listeners, the fans, the people out there, you got to tell them we need more.
We need more.
Need more. Bring
I
us
like
back
listening to you every
again.
morning when I get the kids up for kura.
Yeah.
I like going to get my coffee and speaking to Dale and ask for my latte.
Exactly.
I like going down the road for my little morning jogs with my boyf and talking to Dale. Yes.
Yeah. I need more. I need a season 2.
Yeah, what is it? It's fun. It's Kōrero.
Kōrero. Tahi.
Ngā mea! That is right. The Kōrero podcast where we celebrate te reo Māori, everything Māori-dom, Aotearoa, greatness, coolness, celebrities, public figures, you, me, us, them, everybody. It is all about having a go with Kōrero.
Having a go, inspiring others, inspiring our whānau, our rangatahi, our mama, our papa, our kuiako mātua, because if you want to be somebody,
And you want to go somewhere?
you better wake up.
You better wake up again. Wake up twice and pay attention.
Tika, if you want to be
Be somebody and you want to go
Go
somewhere.
somewhere.
You better wake up and pay attention. Oh, girl.
As you already know, episode 9, Marcia likes to cut everybody
Yeah,
off.
thank you.
She's the captain of the ship, and if the ship goes one way, well, she'll blame others.
I ain't going down with it.
No, she's like, I'm in that boat over there.
It is time for... No, actually, what's our kaupapa for today?
Kaupapa o te rā. As you should know by now, iti iwi, and if you haven't been listening, shame on you. But kaupapa o te rā. Every week we bring a new kaupapa, which brings in a new guest. And today's kaupapa o te rā is broadcasting, Māori and broadcasting, television presenting, and the maramataka. So important, because right now it is matariki. So we're here, it's matariki already. Boom, shakalaka. And the one and only, the man of all mane. Not the wool mane, he's the mane o ngā mane. The one and only Julian Wilcox is joining our show today.
Yeah. I feel like he's
Yes.
the face, he's the voice.
He's the voice.
Oh, he's been around
Speaking of,
broadcasting.
give us a demonstration of how he sounds.
Oh. Tēnā tātou katoa, ko Julian Wilcox tēnei tonight on the hui.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and you know what? He
good.
actually talks like that too.
Yeah.
But it's not even a put on. It's not like, okay, I'm on.
No, it's
That's his voice.
That's his voice. It's
Yeah.
very prim and proper.
all the time.
And it's like, you know, it's cool because it's like a Vin Diesel voice, right? Like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
Just know
definitely
it.
tell
You know that's him.
it's Julian Wilcox.
Yeah, that's a good
I love his laugh too. It's real contagious.
Well, he's joining our show, and I cannot wait to have him here with us because he's a man.
He's a man.
He's the man.
He's the man. In front and behind the cameras.
But you don't want to go anywhere. Do not go to the competitor. What competitor?
Do not swipe your app up or anything like that. Kia utonu mai te iwi, because Julian will be here shortly. And plus, we're going to have a great hotaka i te rangi nei.
Oh, that's
Kicking
another
us off
game,
with
really. Cafe. That is right, because here in Aotearoa, we're coffee snobs. We have our nose up at everyone else around the world for their snobbish coffee connoisseuringness, but we here and we love it.
Apparently, we're like got good coffee tastes.
We in Aotearoa have some of the best baristas in the world. We invented the flat
Well, America's
white.
all sugar, eh? It's all
Yeah.
It's
sugar.
all sugar. And then we were in Italy once, and my auntie asked, can you go get me a coffee? And so I went to the local corner store, whatever, said, I'll have a uno coffee. I don't know if that was right. And then they gave it in like a shot glass. And I was like, no. Also, I'm 1, this is what they gave me.
Wow.
2, I'm going to get a growling.
And 3, I'm not an ant.
And 4,
so little.
this cost 10 New
Euro.
Zealand dollars.
Yes.
So I went back and she was like, what is that? I was like, Italian coffee.
Oh,
Is that right?
Yeah, espresso.
Yeah.
Who
must
knows?
have been.
Well, here in Aotearoa, it's a great way to sort of use your te reo that you've learned with us on the show, just to give it a go. Every week we bring you a new way of how to order your favourite coffee at a cafe, or just give it a go at the local garage. Hey, I want this coffee. Use your te reo. And today we've got another one.
Yes. And
So-
what is our order today?
Well, Mas, I thought we'll sort of, amp it up just a little bit. I'm going to order a large oat milk latte.
I feel like that's your
Ooh.
go-to.
That's very alternative.
Yeah.
And we actually need to be, because a lot of people do use alternative milks and that. So we got to help out everybody
Yes.
with their order.
So-
is alternative. What is alternative?
Well, milk is the norm. Alternative is the...
Oat milk.
This is like very dedicated.
Yeah, a little bit different. No,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We need variations. Not everyone wants the full cream milk. So we need the oat milk. We need the
Coconut.
soy milk, the coconut milk. We need all of those
Yeah.
options.
Because people are
Almond.
going back to those
Shot of caramel.
variations. Because people are like, do we really want the milk from a cow's udder?
Well, yeah, no word of a lie. When they brought out almond milk, I could not fathom how and understand how do you put tea.
I didn't even know they had nipples.
Yeah, I was the same. I was like, how do you put little suction cups on an almond to get milk? I was like, how does that?
Yeah, no, exactly.
Did you work it out?
Yeah, wow. And then they cheat the system, and all you do is soak an almond in water.
Yeah, and
that
you,
is
and then
it.
blend them up. Yeah.
That's almond milk, Ijiwi.
Yeah, all you do is say it's almond and then you pour in your anchor milk.
Yeah.
So today we're ordering a coffee, but I thought I'll be the barista today.
Okay, kia ora.
So where are you going to order yours from so I get the right waidua and
well, since we're
ahuatanga?
still here in Te Pukapu o Tāmaki,
Aye.
we're going
Ponsonby.
Richard. Oh, Ponsonby.
I want a Ponsonby.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm ready now.
I want a Ponsonby.
So we're going downtown Ponsonby. I'm bringing an apron and you're coming into the coffee lab. Coffee lab.
Kia ora. And what are we ordering again?
So we're ordering a large oat milk latte.
Ane Phoenix. He rate miraka oti.
Ah.
That's just oat. Maku.
Okay, so I'm going to go, hi, how are you today? Oh my gosh, look at that big specimen.
Yes.
Hi, how are you?
Kia ora, kia ora.
Oh.
Julian Wilcox tēnei.
Hi, what would you like?
I would like he rate miraka oti maku.
Kia ora.
Can you repeat your order, please?
He rate miraka oti maku.
Yeah, and I will say, yes, I will.
I do.
I see.
That's really cool. So if you want to order an oat milk latte, it's
Rate.
he rate miraka oti maku.
Yes. Rate obviously being the latte.
Groundbreaking.
Transliteration. Miraka being the milk. Oti, oat.
Ah,
And then just the sentence there. He rate miraka oti maku.
Maku as
They say,
funny.
what size? Every time, new.
Nui.
big as possible.
Nui.
And that's our cafe.
Cafe, cafe.
Do
Oh,
try it.
yeah, give it a go.
Do try it.
Do try it. Makone hefter mer.
It really does. Reheko.
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 we always
I was,
harmonised it a little bit.
I was going for the harmony, but
Oh.
I jumped on.
Ah, sorry.
No, but in other words, it's let's commence, everybody.
Let's
it's time for our Kemu o Te Rā.
That's right, Eti. We reheko, our game section. We've got a bit of a game set up for you guys. So today we are playing Ku.
Poo.
Kupu. Da-da-da-da-da.
That's right, Eti. So we say the first syllable of a word, then the second syllable. There's a bit of a beat that we have to keep up with. And we're trying to make real words
Real.
Into the Māori.
into the
I look
Māori.
directly at Luke.
I'm looking
Genuine
out
words.
to the studio,
And I'm gonna
everyone's
say-
still looking at me.
If it's not a real word, we're going to stop the game. And I want to say,
Oh,
what is that?
Yeah, 100%. I'm ready for it.
We're going to name
Out
it
there.
shame.
He he.
I'm ready for the hair. Okay.
All right. Kei te rite kōrero.
All right. Well,
Aku e
tōna
tāti.
rite.
All right. And then where do
And
you
then
go?
huriro na pene.
Oh, okay, cool. Yep. All right, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Tore, fa, and ma.
Ku. Maku. Da-da-da-da-da. Ra.
Ngi.
Rangi.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Fa.
No.
Whānau. Da-da-da-da-da.
Ku.
Poo. Kupu. Da-da-da-da-da. Tō.
Ia.
Toia. Da-da-da-da-da.
Ra.
Ko.
Rako. Da-da-da-da-da.
Tō.
Mai. Tō mai. Da-da-da-da-da. Ra.
Hiri.
Rahiri. Da-da-da-da-da.
Fi.
Ro.
Whiro. Da-da-da-da-da.
Hu.
Poo. Hupu.
hey, see, here we go.
No, I thought you'd look at me like that.
Tēnā koe te ruka. Hea te?
Hupu.
Ai,
Well,
whakamohi
hupu.
atu, hea te upu.
Hupu is derived from the word kupu.
Yes.
But if you have got the missing front teeth. So you would say,
Hea te hupu? Oh, hea te hupu?
Ate hupu.
Ate
Ate hupu tērā. That
okay.
actually
hupu.
makes sense.
Thank you.
So,
Don't look at me like I don't know.
It's kupu no te kāinga.
Ai.
Hupu.
Yeah, or hupu, because you haven't got the front
Te
teeth.
hupu tērā.
Yes.
Palma koe te matua hea te hupu tērā.
That's actually really good. Well done.
Good stuff.
We've gone to the judges and they accept.
They accept?
Yeah. Here we
Okay. All right. Mahi
Okay.
anō.
go. Da. Ni.
Fa. Ni fa da 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 da. Poo. Purr. Purr. Now, no te hokianga koe.
Yeah.
So, purr.
Yeah, pūre.
Hea te purr.
He kupu, hei whakapopoto e te kupu pudding or purini. Just, humai te puru.
You're actually going down to Ngāti Parau.
Yeah.
Because they like to cut their sentences.
Yeah,
Humai te
humai te
puru.
puru. You know,
Humai te puru.
'cause
What do you
if
want
you know,
to
you
put
know.
it? Yeah, humai te puru.
Yeah, humai te puru.
Yeah.
You know. And as a moko and as a nephew, you should know that the auntie wanted the pudding.
And who am I going to say to whakahe te reo takukrani?
Kia, I love it. Kia ora.
Why?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, we've got to the judges again. They accept.
Oh, they accept.
And you know what I've found is that as long as you can dig yourself out of but with your kōrero, it's fine.
It's fine.
Right here at Kōrero. Alrighty. Mahi anō, one more round.
Da. Me.
He. Mehe da 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 da. Ra.
Ko.
Oh, rako da 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 da.
Fa.
Ki.
Faki da 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 da.
It's probably
yeah.
is a kupu.
It is a kupu. Faki.
Whakamohi mai, hea te whaki.
Actual, I'm not even lying.
Oh, yeah.
Faki is to tell on someone. So, na wai faki. Who told?
Oh, like
Yeah.
you're a... Yeah.
Yeah, so what I should have done is put a more of a tohuto on the ah.
So you said fucky. What's that one?
Yeah.
No
Yeah, well,
tohuto.
you know, when you stub your toe, you go, oh, fuck you. That's it.
That's really important to note, actually.
Yeah.
Tohu tō. The
Tohu
macron
tō,
above
man.
a word can mean one thing or the other, same spelling, different meaning.
Well, it can
it's
be the
really
difference-
important.
Can be the difference between giving someone a birthday cake or a birthday armpit.
Tika.
Ah, and that kupu is?
Keke and keke.
Ah, totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more round. We've got this.
Yeah,
Let's try and get a round without.
All right.
Okay, Mark.
Last round. Ko.
Wai. Kōwai. Da. Two.
Mai.
Two mai. Da.
Fi.
Ri.
Firi. Da.
He.
Wa. Hiwa. Da. Ma.
Ku.
Maku. Da.
Ka.
Ka.
Kaka. Da.
Pa.
Ru. Paru. Da. O.
Ma.
Oma. Da.
Te.
Wai. That
I
way.
didn't want to play anyway.
Oh, it was your team. Yeah. Oh, she's the captain.
And there we go.
Capitana. Oh, that's a vibe. What a great way to have some fun with te reo.
That's the way to end it.
Take
Yep.
care.
Oh, I love it.
All right,
Wow.
lessons out of there. You can just kōrero to dig yourself out of a hole, or tohuto.
And we've
Tohu
made
tō.
some new kupu for you to learn today.
Hei ware
Whāki,
i ngā tohu te whani.
Hupu.
Tuku. And let's go to the next. Kia ora rā. It is time to kōrero with a rerenga kōrero.
Rerenga kōrero tēnā whakarongo mai.
Tēnā homai te puka.
Ai, kia ora. Ai, this is a great book.
Yes, a great book. Thanks to our favourite author, Hona Black. Te reo kape kape, Māori wits and humour. It's a beautiful hot pink book found in Whitcoulls. So go out there and purchase it. He's got other books
He
too.
does have other books.
It's
Great.
super.
This particular Puka Puka Iti Iwi is all about wit, funniness. So you may think, oh, that's a little bit hard out, but it's fun. Give it a go. Māori, te reo Māori is all about that.
Yeah, so some idioms, some kiwa, some hātauki,
Hātau.
hātauaki, and some rerenga kōrero.
Rerenga kōrero
Tēnā whakarongo mai. Today it is hoki atu.
Oh.
And this is a kiwaha. So sometimes kiwaha can kind of throw you off.
Oh, so it's not what you think. It's actually a little bit more in depth.
Yeah. Well,
Hoki
maybe
Hoki
not
atu,
even more in
hoki
depth. Just maybe just
I'm going with like.
surface.
Hoki
I'm going with like. Why do you keep bringing that up? Like that type of, like you like bringing up a past argument or a past thing, and you're like, and then you say to, oh, bro, hoki atu, same.
Yeah, same old,
thing.
same
You
old.
keep bringing it up.
You've nailed it.
See?
E mātanga reo kōrero.
Oh, we should be called doctors.
We should be.
Because you can say
the
like
hui.
hoki atu, like go back.
Yeah.
That's what I thought to
Yeah.
just start with, but then I locked in with Phoenix.
But this kiwaha, is very much along those lines. Hoki atu, and that's the way, of course, how you say it. Hoki atu. Same old, same old.
Ah.
Yeah, so, and we all know those people. Maybe it's a kai kōrero.
Yeah.
And they're the, kai kōrero tuarua. They get up, say exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
And you can say, hoki atu.
Or you have that mate that always comes to bring you the same relationship problem. You're like, I've already given you advice on this.
Yeah.
Told you to
He's-
leave him.
She's cheating.
I told you, just leave.
Hoki atu.
Yeah. Or you go, uncle, can you come down and teach that waiata? I taught it to them the last 2 weeks. Hoki atu.
Yeah.
Same old.
Same
You haven't
old.
changed.
Or you ask your mate, oh, bro, when do you train again? I want to come train with you, and you've never shown up. Hoki atu.
Are you,
Yeah,
who are
yeah.
you talking to, Phoenix?
Coupled with turuki wawata.
Turuki wawata.
That was a good one, yes.
Yeah, but hoki atu, same old. Say it from your chest.
Hoki atu.
And that's our rerenga kōrero for today.
Rerenga kōrero
Tēnā
tēnā whakarongo mai.
Time to kōrero, brought to you by Te Reo Kape Nā Hona Black, Iti Te Kupu Iawa,
Nui te kōrero.
Tuka. Okay, e te iwi, ko tai tātou ki tēnei wāhanga. Tahia te marae, ka rite te whare, because we've got manuhiri.
It's Manuhiri time. I am so excited for this one, Marcia, because I'm a massive fan.
Yes, tika, so am I. Tuku a te karanga e ho.
Before we do the karanga, I've got something for you.
Okay, go.
Tēnā tātou katoa on the hui tonight. Tēnā koe te prata, Julian Wilcox, e nau mai ki tēnei hōtaka kōrero. Koe te tangata tino rongo nui rā wātu, tēnā koe Julian, tēnā koe Julian,
E mihi ana ki a koe, ki o pukenga nui, pukenga rau, ki tō ihi, ki tō mana. Nau mai haere mai ki roto i tēnei whare, and we're a little bit starstruck. A little bit chuffed. Well, a lot bit
related, it's
chuffed.
all
I
good.
know. But I'm like, mate, you're for real.
Yeah, we are massive fans.
Yeah, massive.
I mean, the one and only Julian Wilcox, if you look back over the years, you are that figurehead of Māori broadcasters. You are a role model for a lot of us who looked up. I remember seeing you when I was back in school. And you truly were a leader of what you do in the broadcasting field, television presenting, radio, MCing, producing. The hui tonight. But we are truly chuffed and very humbled that you can be part of Kōrero. But as all of our manuhiri on our show, we do a bit of research because, we're the whole shebang.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Marcia's done some research on
Well,
you.
luckily,
You stole it all. I think.
Yeah, a little bit. But luckily, you don't have to research that far because it's all out there. Google straight away. Boom. Well, no, Julian Wilcox, Ngāpuhi Te Arawa. Is that right? I was like,
Sometimes maybe.
A little bit of tautokoro banter.
yeah, but Te Arawa. Is that correct?
Te rā arawa.
Also, as an award-winning broadcaster, a former television executive, a local industry veteran, one of Whakaata Māori's founding members, Wilcox's prolific presence has played a vital role in the amplification of Māori-centric media for some 30 years now, with no end in sight. Ahoy anō, all-around good guy, not to mention mātanga i te ao Māori, te tai ao, karakia, te reo, maramataka, and the list goes on.
Oh, look, that's our show done.
Yeah, we've run
What
out
have
of
you
time
got left
now.
to say?
Yeah. Julian, before we get into all the nitty-gritty,
Yep.
that is a huge bio on someone who is very renowned in the media world here in Aotearoa. Where did it all start for you?
Really good question, actually, because I remember as a kid watching things like this is showing my age, Knight Rider and Chips and all that kind of stuff, all that Americanized TV stuff, and thinking, where's our stuff? Then, of course, you had things like Koha, So this is really showing my age because koha started.
I'm just shaking my head like I know.
Ah, koha.
Koha was
Yes.
a Māori current affairs show in the late 1970s. And then Te Karere came and then others followed on after that. So I remember Mum and Dad used to watch this stuff and being really kind of enthralled by seeing ourselves on television and listening to ourselves on radio with stations like Tupoko Tika. You know, if you think back to someone like Winimu Parker who did the pōwhiri for the Māori Battalion when they came back from World War II with Sir James Henare at Pipitea in 1946. So, you know, Māori radio, Māori television was really in its kind of infancy, I guess you could say, when I was a kid. And that's where my interest in it kind of developed and came from. And, you know, the other thing I think was that pretty early on, unfortunately, my dad realised I probably wasn't going to be an All Black. And Mum,
relate.
who was an athlete, knew that I wasn't going to get there either. And so I kind of developed a facility for words, and that just became a thing. And then I realised I wasn't going to be a rapper and I couldn't sing, so broadcasting seemed to be going on. So it was purely out of desperation that I fell into broadcasting.
Wow.
Same story.
What are you doing now?
We've all tried to be a silver food, but
I try to be an All Black, but I get gout. So
I just watched because, well, I mean, why wouldn't you? It's a buffet on a field every night.
buffet of buffness. Yeah.
From Te Tai Tokerau, the mighty, mighty north.
Yeah.
Where's home for you in Te Tai Tokerau, and why is it so special?
Well, my dad's buried in a place called Totoro. For the uninitiated, obviously you fellas know, but for the uninitiated, it's just south of Kaikohe. If you follow Jacob's Ladder past the college, you end up in Totoro. And Dad was brought up there. And when I was young, my maternal grandparents were still alive. So my Kōrero Eriko Kingi was a translator for the Māori Land Court in Te Arawa.
Wow.
And had our whakapapa New Te Arawa history and all that kind of stuff. But I had no idea of my Ngāpuhi kind of heritage until my grandparents, my maternal grandparents had passed on, and then Dad kind of landed me with this Ngāpuhi, and I had no idea what that was. And so pretty much from when I was 13, I've always gone back. So Totoro is where the old man's buried, but where, you know, the Wilcoxes are originally, well, of Irish stock, but originally from kind of Waikare all the way through to Waima, with ties into Ngāti Korokoro, you know, so Hokianga all the way through. And I don't know, I get a sense of kind of being able to take a breath when I go home.
Yes.
Just feels like there's something in there which settles you down. And maybe it's the constant abuse of, you know, not going home enough, or thinking I'm too good for home, or, you know, not doing enough dishes, or whatever it is, or the aunties telling me off like Auntie Ipu and them. But whatever it is, you know, I feel like that's where I'm at my 100. And it's kind of a weird thing, you know. But Auckland's not home for me. It's just where we kind of reside. But every time I go back, I feel like I'm kind of with kith and kin. And that is not to deny my kind of te arawa whakapapa, and I'm very proud of it. And, you know, my mum is a very staunch te arawa tūwharetoa. The Kingis are a staunch tūwharetoa te arawa whānau. But because the old man's buried at home, that's kind of where I like to be.
Kia ora. And I mean, you're like a puna mātauranga.
Oh, tika.
Where did your puna come from?
Oh, Marcia.
Who filled it up?
Yeah, who filled that up? You know?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like
I mean,
this-
I when I got into broadcasting, I started with a guy who's a bit of a stalwart, a guy by the name of Henare Kingi.
Oh, wow,
Who's
yes.
from the Kingis and Titi.
Aye.
And I used to hang out with him during the week when I was broadcasting on radio. And then in the weekend, I used to hang out with this old lady called Auntie Iris Whānga, but she was a pater and a kawiti. So on the weekends, I'd hang out with her and go to church, and like there'd be 20 clergy and 3 parishioners, and I was probably the only one under 50, because, you know, it was just learning the language and trying to understand what made these old people kind of tick. And then hang out with Henare and just, again, trying to learn the language. And, of course, they were both Ngāpuhi, so I kind of fell into it. But the one who really kind of taught me a lot was my uncle, the late Sir Patu Hohepa,
Oh, wow, yes.
who's an uncle on my dad's side. And he just kind of took an interest in me and wanted to share stuff. and particularly around hokianga and whakapapa and who we were and where we came from and our ties back to the Pacific. And so he didn't really have people he could kind of share that with, and for whatever reason I was around, so we used to kind of hang out. And then more lately, someone like Ririata Mākiha, who I spend a bit of time with, and I just find that their world really appeals to me, and the way that they think, the way that they kind of express themselves, their kind of humility, their humanity, the way in which they really care about home is something that I have a kind of shared feeling and affinity for. And I just like hanging with them, and maybe it's because I'm an old soul or whatever it is. But that kind of is where I feel naturally kind of placed in the world.
Was Te Reo Māori always part of your childhood growing up though? Was it spoken at home or even?
No, I was kuareas.
Oh wow!
Like really, I was. It's actually shameful.
No, I go. You say you're kuareas back then, and I'm thinking, but how are you so not? Like,
You're a
we still
really
got
good
time.
son.
it's amazing.
Yeah, no, it was pretty bad. My mum was really Pāmamai because she was undertaking tertiary education at Victoria University with initially Ruka Broughton, then Hirimoko Mead and Poutemara and all those.
Oh wow!
Were
What a
were
team.
thick, and so she was doing a tohu, and then she ended up doing her masters. But she was learning, and Dab's a native fluent speaker, beautiful speaker. Totoro. They call him Totoro. Totoro too far back because they're old school.
Oh, I love it, love it.
And but none of us spoke Māori. In fact, the one who had the kind of natural gift was my sister. Very bright. My brother's big and strong. So, everything I'm not, they've got.
And everything you've got, they know.
But, they were probably the ones who should have picked it up and for whatever reason didn't, and it kind of came my way. But no, I was a very ignorant child. I used to thought we were Italian.
Wow.
I would believe that.
Yeah, I would too.
Just really kind of ignorant and wasn't really brought up around home, so didn't have a great idea of it, and it's actually quite embarrassing now that I think about it. But so when kohanga could have come around and I look at young tamariki now, rangatai now, and
That's
it blows
amazing,
me
isn't
away.
it?
Yeah, it's their norm, mate.
It's
Yes.
the norm.
Well, and that's it. Eh? So, and then fast forward to now, obviously, mātanga reo, you teach te reo, you have many different pōtai, using te reo, using tikanga, using mātauranga Māori, which is beautiful. So then, teaching te reo, it seems like for us, so I'm only just starting to learn te reo over the last couple of years, really to really dive into it and reclaim it for myself. It seems like for us learning that, there's like a massive resurgence of reo wānanga, reo learning opportunities, and more people who are speaking to it. Is that the case, or is it just because I'm just starting this journey?
Oh,
No, that is definitely the case. I can remember when universities first started offering te reo Māori what they call nil fee. They didn't call it free; they called it nil fee, and that was something to try and get more non-Māori learning te reo. Now that's 2000, so that's fairly recent. Kōrero started in 1996, I think, through Te Tautawhiti and Timoti, mainly for teachers of te reo Māori. They were getting hoha with the amount of Māori teachers who were either using poor grammar or poor syntax or wrong sentence structure. So the kōrero developed out of that by Te Tautawhiti and then carried on and kept going. And I can remember the initial kōrero in Waimarama because there weren't many of us young ones going. It was mainly lots of old people. And then I got chucked in. Me and Tainui Stevens were like the only ones under 50 who were kind of
Tainui
in
Stevens.
Tuawaru. And we were hanging out with all these native speakers of te reo Māori, beautiful speakers of te reo Māori. And then you go into a class with Media Simpson, the old queer.
Wow.
And she would just lambast people for, poor sentence structure or passive endings and stuff like this. Then you go into a class with Whare Huia on Whakatauki, stuff I'd never heard of before. And all these old people are sitting there like, wow, this is amazing. They're all native speakers, and I'm the kind of pretender, really. And then you go in with Timoti, and he's got his class, Te Aumihiata Masons doing kiwaha, Anita Moke, Hone Edwards' mum, all these old people, Mate Kaiwai, Hendare Apita Ngata's daughter. Wow. Beautiful, and these kōrero were my Christmas holidays.
Yeah.
So the kōrero started in the 90s, and then all of a sudden, out of things things like Te Panekiratanga, you get a plethora of iwi starting to develop their own wānanga. That really kind of came in the early 2000s. So you're right, there are a lot more now, and I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
100%.
You know, I mean, you look at home. So we've got Te Taumata, we've got Whirinaki Kōrero, you got that's right, you got Kura Kāinga. I didn't do that. But anyway, Kura Kāinga. You've got Kapahako run their own kōrero. We're running a kōrero now for the Kaipā Pāho. You know, those things really only came about recently, and it is easier for someone to start learning the language now. I think one of the difficulties that we have, though, is because of the options available, it's almost like you've got to pick one.
Yeah.
Whereas I think the more that you can attend, the more that you can get into, the easier it is, the better it is. And I used to just pick up stuff from other iwi and then go home and get told off because no one knew what the hell I was talking about, or new words and no one knew what the heck they meant. But I think now, you know, it's good that you've started your journey. Because there's really no reason why you can't start.
Yes. Yes.
It's so available.
Yeah.
But the thing that scares me is that because it's so available, you've got a lot of non-Māori who are learning Te Reo, and this is going to be controversial, but I've seen lots of non-Māori learn Te Reo and then weaponise it against us.
Yes.
So we've people like you are just as important as these two in the acquisition of our language. So we can make sure that, yes, we are the kaitiaki of it. Yes, we make it available, but we ensure that those who are not us who are learning it aren't using it against us.
Yes.
That's a good point.
You did touch on, like, you know, maybe choosing the one that you want to go with, the te ara. That maybe it's you know, all those ara. What one, like, are you passionate about? Whether it's karakia, whether it's te reo, whether it's te taia or maramataka, like, what one do you find passion for?
We've got a kind of a wānanga that we do with Matua Rereta, and I won't go too much into it. The reason why I really like it is it's, you know, you just hang with the old fella and he talks.
Yeah.
And those are the best ones. I mean, the only gifts you really need to pick this stuff up is a left ear and a right ear. And it's hard because you've got social media and it's hard to put a phone down or put a computer down. Yeah. You know, it's hard to just kind of sit and be still.
Point.
Uncle Rowley talks about this thing that the first reo is actually in the ngahere. And you just got to ātarongo. You just sit and you listen. You can hear. After a while, you hear different bird calls, you hear different tree calls, you hear different winds.
I love that.
And that's the natural te reo. And the question is, what comes first? You know, chicken and egg. Is it te reo taiao or te reo tangata? And who marries who? You know, who mirrors the other one? And so, you know, that's what I kind of like to do, which is completely different from all the other kōrero where you go learn a whakatauki and all that kind of stuff. But it teaches you to kind of be centered. And a little bit more kind of aware and attuned, and that's really hard in a world with technology and lots going on.
Yeah.
Just chill.
Yeah.
A different kaupapa kōrero for the hui tonight. Maramataka. Now, you are a person who really knows your stuff and pushes the boundaries for others to sort of open up to and go, oh, this is cool. Oh, I'm learning about this. Didn't think about that last time. Does the moon actually work like that? And you are that person. Why is the maramataka so important?
Well, first of all, it's us. And by the way, I'm not an expert like Uncle Rao. You know? I mean, there's lots more people and better people than I. But the reason why I think it's really good for us is because it teaches you humility. That you're not in control, actually. That there are other elements in control of your world that you have to kind of align with. So when you look at the maramataka, I think there's parts people look at. For instance, they look at the moon phase and they go, yep, we're in this, and therefore that's the excuse why I don't feel good. Or that's the excuse why I didn't finish the assignment, right? Yeah. And it's not about that. You've got to align the maramataka with the peka of the toe, so it kind of, and it's not a season, but what time of year we're in. Then you align with the maramataka, and then you look at high tide and low tide, and then you can try and start to adapt and think, okay, then I can do different things on different days. So, for example, yesterday was whiro, right? And I heard someone say, oh, it's whiro. Oh, yeah, bad day today, I won't do much. Yeah. Which is not how it works. Right? So then you've got high tides and low tides.
Okay, good.
So we're going from out of
Damn
the
it, we can't use it as an excuse.
No, exactly. And, you know, we're going out of the matatis and we're coming into the takurua soon, into the winter phases, right? And so there's some certain things happening in the environment. Then you look at high tide and low tide, and you can push and pull and all that kind of stuff depending on where the tides are. And so that's the way to think about it, though, for me, is that you think, I'm just a small cog in this massive wheel. And when you start thinking like that, and not just when you think about, well, this is a bit ethereal, so excuse me for doing it, but
I love it.
when you think about the world and the earth, the world and the earth is only this part of that. Right? And so the universe has, for instance, it has sources of water, which is what combines with lots of other different things to form stars and other planets and all this kind of thing. When you start thinking of it in that way, it's really humbling, and then you have to start thinking about, okay, what's going on in the world that I have to start attuning myself to. And when you think like that, you start thinking differently.
Oh, yes. Well, a niece of ours actually gave me this little example a couple of weeks ago because she said, Uncle Luke, and I'm like, oh, here we go. The sassy tongue is coming out. Are you not feeling good? And I'm like, pardon? She goes, you're not giving me your kind of vibe today. And I'm like, I'm just chilling. She goes, do you watch follow the maramataka? And I'm like, should I? And she goes, you know, the moon has ways to pull oceans and tides, and it has the same effect on people. She said, that's why you get lunar. And then I'm like, so you're calling me a lunatic? So is that, people feel that though, because it can
there's talk
pull.
about energy and how that can wax and wane both in the environment and within the person themselves. So, for example, there's a thing that happens every Oturu, which we kind of observe, which is getting close to full moon. 1 phase, 2 phases before full moon. Oturu rako nui, rako matui. Those are the full moon ones. But at Oturu, and you can see it because it's big-eyed moon. They used to call it, there's a whakatauki, mehe Oturu ngākaru, is that when someone falls to someone and their eyes just kind of like this. Mehe Oturu ngākaru, you're almost getting full moon eyes. But the Oturu moon, the other thing about the Oturu moon is that no matter what the weather, depending on the tide coming into high tide, there's always a time at which the weather just goes, sucks itself out, and it just goes calm. 45 minutes to an hour. And then if it's stormy and bucketing down, it'll do this. You'll feel the wind pull itself in, the rain will stop, the storm will stop for 45 minutes for an hour, and then it'll come back again. And so when you think, and you can actually predict this, right? So when you look at the next Oturu phase, depending on where you are. So here's the other thing. The maramataka works at different times in different places. So yes, it's the same phase, but it's just different locations with different effects.
Amazing.
Different types.
So you can actually start predicting what you can do, when you can do it, and how you can do it, because you look at when the tides are coming in or out, when the moon is at a particular phase in a certain part of the year, you can start planning things around.
Wow.
So, you know, for example, Matariki celebrations always happen, I think it's on the first Tangaroa phase after Matariki like rising.
Yes.
And so we know that's going to be the 28th, right? So for us, because we're a West Coast iwi, we're puanga, we know we follow the Oturu part of when puanga first comes up. So we know that's going to be about the 21st. Then you look at the high tide or when the tide's coming in, and then that's when you kind of align your karakia, because you know no matter what the weather, you're going to see puanga. So you can start planning things out.
I just learned so much. Like we
You should hang out with Uncle Ralph. Or other experts.
We do on our radio show. We do the maramataka in the morning, and I suppose we don't go into that depth. But it's learning for me is it's enough. But this is brilliant, and I feel like we should be calling you Dr. Professor Your Highness Julian Wilcox.
I was sitting here and I'm like, did you used to use that, like, you know, go out on a date?
Yes, a pickup line.
Yeah, pickup lines of doom.
I hope you did.
Yeah.
Or do.
It's getting really embarrassing. when we were learning the reo at Te Aute, me and my best mate, I won't say his name, but it rhymes with Heaven Broughton. We used to go and, you know, you'd go to town and there'd be St. Joe's or Hukarere or Sacred Heart or whatever. Mainly St. Joe's. I won't go to. Anyway, and you'd see them there in their uniform, and so we'd go into a fruit stall or whatever. This particularly worked when they were non-Māori, and you'd pick up an apple and go. See, the only thing we knew was off by heart was the Lord's Prayer. E tō mātou matu i tēnā. Which is sacrilegious, but anyway, we'd sit there and the girl would come in the shop, and you go, grab an apple and go, e tō mātou matu i tēnā. My mate would go, kia tapu tō ingoa. And the St. Joe's girls were like, they're doing the Lord's Prayer. But the Pākehā girls would go, oh, that's so awesome. And then me he Oturu ngākaru.
Look at those Māori boys.
And their number ones.
Yeah.
Number ones.
Speaking the reo, it's so beautiful.
Oh, the
number
Pākehā
ones.
girls are probably like, those Italian boys.
Did it work? Not with the party. Just quietly. But no, you know, I mean, the reo is it's a facility by which you can engage with people.
Yeah.
Kia ora.
In
It's
that
sexy.
way and in other ways.
Yeah.
Oh no, look, I mean, I've always said that I think the reo is the sexiest language because people say it's French, and it sounds spitty.
It is actually, and it's quite.
Oh, it depends who's.
Oh, yeah.
It depends who's saying it. Though.
Yeah, tika, with your reo and then with the way how you kawe, like, you know, your voice. Oh, kia ora.
Yeah.
Actually, let's do it.
Some of our uncles up north, you know, not so much.
You know, they've got the reo, but that's all I know. I don't know if that's a little bit sexy.
No, that's true. You know, you remember. We won't say which hapu in particular, but
Say it, I dare you.
it might rhyme with hātingine. Like they can get really guttural with it, eh? Although they'll probably say the same thing about my uncles in Totoro. But you know, the one I'd say the really interesting thing is that for me, whilst I used to hang out with these old fellas, it was the aunties, man. It was the aunties who would just keep you on. Still do.
Yes.
Like, you know,
absolutely.
Waitangi this year, when the government came on, you know, I wasn't meant to get up. And I had an auntie from Hokianga, and she said, "You're getting up." And I said, "No, I'm not." And she was like,
Don't you
giving me
answer
the... Yeah,
That wasn't a
literally,
question.
She was like,
Yeah.
She was like, "Sorry, who do you think you are?"
Yeah.
How they
Kind of thing. And then
fuck
you're
up.
getting up. And I was going, "Oh," and I wasn't dressed and da-da-da. And this is the thing, is that people forget, I think, it's the aunties that rule the world.
They do. Women, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, no, and I'm not just saying that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, it freaks me out. Like, I get scared because whilst we might do, you know, the taumata and stuff like that, particularly in a hui mate, there's always three kuia sitting on the side, and you look at them and you finish, and then you go, and they're going, you know, and then you go over and go, "Oh, auntie," and you think you've been flipping awesome.
Yeah.
But off in karaki, you done your whakapapa,
then they're like,
hononga, they come to take the tupā. Oh, we're really getting into it now. They come to tono for the tupāpaku, you've held them off, and you're going fine, you're feeling really good about yourself. You look over, and I turn to this one auntie, I won't say her name. Rhymes with no. Anyway, she's from Waimā, so all the Waimā ones will know what I'm talking about. And she'll go, "Oh, te kaha maroke." Don't maroke.
No hiding that.
You know, and all the old uncles, you know, Renata and Mohi and others are sitting there cracking up, because they're going, "That was awesome," and then she's going, "Oh, that was rubbish," you know. But and so the reason why I'm saying this is because I think we have severely undervalued the importance and mana of our wahine Māori. So if you look at kohanga, who's there? Ko ngā whaia me ngā kuia.
Yeah.
You look at kura kaupapa, who's there? Ngā whaia me.
Ai.
Parekura, da, 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 da.
Katoa.
The tumuaki mainly are tāne. But actually the ones who rule the roost are ngā wahine. And I think that's the bit sometimes that I get a bit worried about, is we need to go through a decolonised process to remember. And I don't think we
I
do
like
that.
that. Remember to remember.
Yeah.
Well, Julian Wilcox, as always, we are fans of yours. We love you because you're also one of ours from Te Tai Tokerau, but we also adore and love what you do for broadcasting here in Aotearoa. And your knowledge on the maramataka is just outstanding. So thank you for being part of our show. But before we say haere rā mate wā hoki ki te kāinga, everyone knows you as a broadcaster. So Phoenix has got we've got something we would like you to do for us.
Yes. Oh, yeah. So we were taking a bit of liberties while you're here, actually, as you do. And so we were thinking if you could give us your best introduction of us three,
Right.
and this podcast, and your best newscaster
as if you're
voice.
on the
as if you're on the hui.
As if I'm on the hook.
As if you're on the hui, and it's breaking news.
Or the Matatini stage cow.
Yeah.
Breaking news. You need to introduce Marcia, Phoenix, and Luke. The podcast Kōrero, but it's breaking news is coming in. Oh, you know, best newscast voice.
Crossing live now to our correspondent, it's Julian Wilcox. Julian, kea koe te wā.
Tēnā koe, kia ora tātou katoa, welcome. Breaking news. We've just received information straight from Parliament from the Honourable Prime Minister, whose name none of us can remember, who has just told us that there is a new podcast. It's called the Kōrero Podcast. By divine intervention, by the love of our mātua tupuna, and by ngā atua Māori, this podcast was born all the way from Io and Hawaii on the Wakatoa Aotearoa, featuring Phoenix, Marcia, and of course Luke the Birdman. And like the bird, not only will it fly, it will soar to the highest horizons, to the greatest skies, to the depths of the oceans, and back again onto the land, where our people will wait with bated breath to hear, to see, to feel, to touch the spirit of this new taonga called the Kōrero Podcast.
Whakamaua kia tina. Huie.
Julian Wilcox.
I want to listen to it. Even I want to listen to it.
Yeah.
now.
What are you talking about? Oh, man.
Oh, Julian, thank you so much. Nei te mihi
Thank
ko
you,
wanu wanu kia koe te prata. We love what you do. We're proud of what you do. You're from Te Tautokito.
Ai.
Amazing.
Ko ea ngā mahi o tira e kore mutu ngā mihi ki a koe me tō rahi.
I just want to say,
Yes.
that we first kind of worked together at the Matariki Awards.
Yes, we
And
did.
I didn't really know what to expect. I'm not cutting out Phoenix, you're still the man.
I often get
But these two, honestly, it was the funnest isn't even a word. What am I going
It
on
is
about?
in our
But it
dictionary.
was the funnest event I've done in a long time. Mainly, and lots of people were into it. The audience was into it, but mainly because of these two. So I hope you two keep doing what you're doing. I hope I get the chance to work with you again.
We will.
So I enjoyed it. You know, having our whanaunga pure there
Yeah.
and Nore, it felt like a bit of a tautoko.
It was. The whole show
Yeah.
was. We are.
Which is how it often feels actually. Sometimes. But no, this has been awesome, and I just wish you the best with it. And of course with Phoenix as well. I think we need more of us celebrating what we do. Not me, but celebrating other people and what they do. Because if we don't, no one else is going to do it for us. So thank you for the opportunity.
Kōrero.
And on that note, thank you very much for coming in.
Tēnā koe.
It was like, that's blown my mind.
I know. I'm a little bit like, what do we do now? Like, oh, wow, that was incredible.
No idea.
Yeah. Well, not. We know you to be a very busy person,
Sure.
and so we wish you all the best with all your future endeavours, including the many kaupapa that you've got on today.
Absolutely.
Tēnā koe.
Julian Wilcox, everybody!
Hey!
He's amazing.
Amazing, Julian Wilcox.
You are now the voice of our podcast, Ep9
Yes.
Julian.
He's a
Well,
vibe.
Yeah, he is a vibe. So talented, such a sponge too. And that I love that he's still, but that he's able to share his knowledge with our Māori.
I find it
Our
super
kata.
encouraging too. Super encouraging that people like Julian Wilcox himself, and then like Scotty Morrison, who you just assume have always been able to speak to.
Yeah, and they haven't.
haven't.
And yet they're like
mostly
Mātanga.
Taught in the adult.
Yeah, taught in the adulthood.
Oh,
so,
there's no excuse. Damn it!
so watch out for us next
Hard
year.
out. That's us,
Yeah.
Phoenix. Yeah,
It
okay.
actually makes me want to start piano lessons.
Yeah, it's not too late.
I
not too
think
late.
I could do it.
And you know what? And he smells delicious. I was sitting next to him and I'm like, damn, you fine. You smell good.
It's still like, he looked good too.
He does. What an awesome guy. And Julian Wilcox, what a man.
Hold on.
What a man, what a man, what a mighty good man.
Mighty good man.
Man,
O te rā e
fantastic.
te iwi kua tō te rā ki runga i tēnei o ngā hōtaka. Ano, mo te wā nei, and it's time for us to get on our rea.
Would you believe that is episode 9?
I
Oh,
know, it's actually getting quite sad because we're getting near to the end.
I know, near to the end, but what a great season. We haven't finished yet, though.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
time for us to say hi to our mātua hoki ki te kāinga. But we are back next week with another brand new episode, a fantastic episode, the last of our season for season 1. But, mate, Marcia, give me a little tea fitty as to who's coming on board.
She's bold. She's straight up the guts. She's social media. She is funny. She is a mama, a businesswoman, and she's just like no filter. And we all love to watch her 24/7.
I've got her.
Yeah.
It's the one and only Nix.
Next,
That's right.
Nix is joining our show for the final of season 1. Iti Iwi, you have got to stick around for her because you know what she's like.
She's hilarious.
She's on.
yeah. Next, I mean, look at all our guests. It's great.
Yeah, they're great. Look at us. We're great.
Because we're kōrero. Kia
That
ora.
is right.
Hoi anō. Yeah, ko au tēnei ko Māsio Hopa, shamelessly from Te Taitokera.
Ai, Phoenix Roka tēnei no Ngāpuhi nui tonu.
And I'm Luke Bird the Birdman from Ngāpuhi, Te Tai Tokiro. Where else would you rather be? And right here, because we're what? We're going to do more kōrero.
Kōrero. Tahi.
Rua. Toru. Ngā mea.
Araro!
Yeah.